We're going to talk what you guys did with Miles, the most overrated players for every Premier League club. So it's only right we do the most underrated player for every Premier League club. Yeah, man, let's start with West Ham.
I think this is quite easy because I think there's a load that are completely underrated. I know Jared Bowen, people love him. I think he's underrated in terms of why has he never been linked to a big move?
Mate, I said something that I don't think is... Do you know what I said about Bowen? Which at one point in the season, it wasn't that wild. Even if you disagree with me, it wasn't that wild. And this demonstrates quite how underrated he is. I said that at the moment, Jared Bowen could start for England ahead of Bukayo Saka because of the form of Saka compared to the form of Bowen. Mate, the reaction to that. The reaction was like I'd said something like totally outrageous.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that far apart, even if it is.
He's a better finisher, in my opinion.
Even if you think I'm wrong, it's not that crazy, is it?
No, it's not that crazy at all. He just needs a bigger platform. But I think this whole West Ham side, obviously a player that you know, Roars, Emerson.
Palmieri.
Yeah, left back. I think he's a solid player.
Wasn't good for us.
Is Lucas Paqueta
not
a bit underrated, though?
No, people know, man. People know.
City are going in for him in the summer.
But City went in for him, but it's also went, City won him. Like it kind of still a little bit.
No, but he starts for Brazil as well, though. I think I would say that people are aware of the brilliance of Paquetá.
Edson Alvarez.
He could again.
Came in from
I think Kudos Alvarez. I think people know. Like an unsung hero for them.
Ward-Prowse.
Maybe the centre half. Aged.
Aged, yeah, I'd take Aged. Underrated.
Maybe Aged.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout.
Maybe.
Yes, you do Aged.
Yeah.
What about Bournemouth?
I think they'd have a lot, because
a few championship
they're
players.
doing really well at the moment. They're getting a lot of big results. Another big result for them at the weekend. And they've got a lot of players that maybe we look at and go, it's average. And Bournemouth fans probably love the socks off them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
All four of them.
Yeah.
I think Semenyo's been fantastic.
Malcolm Christie.
Yeah. Ryan Christie.
Semenyo's
been good in terms of galvanising their attack, and obviously it's hard to find, players that are going to get goals and assists at the lower end of the table that don't cost 50 million quid. And Semenyo's come from the Championship. I think he's a really, really talented player, and I think he'd kick on as well in the Premier League.
Yeah. What about Wolves? Anybody spring to mind at Wolves?
From watching Wolves, I'd say someone like Ike Nuri's been absolutely fantastic. Left wing back, physical, aggressive, he's got good quality. He was good against Man City right at the start of the season as well. And Gary O'Neill gets the most out of his defensive unit.
Who I think is quite good for them and can be reliable, and he was good for West Ham. Fellow Dawson, innit? Remember when he was at West Ham and all of a sudden
they loved him.
Going, whoa, Dawson's amazing.
Yeah, they loved him.
And I think it went really wild for a bit. And then he went to Wolves, kind of got... But I think he's a reliable centre-half that everybody will kind of love. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Good player.
Cunha? Is he underrated or people know that?
People know about him.
Lamina. They've just got good players, haven't they?
Lamina was at
Southampton,
wasn't he?
Yeah, Fulham, I think.
Good player. He was weirdly linked to United for a brief period.
Basically, do you know who it is at Wolves? It's Gary O'Neill. When you look, we've said half a dozen players.
You know what?
The answer is Gary O'Neill.
There was a few super chats about Gary O'Neill on the weekend as well. You were raving about Gary O'Neill on the weekend. Got a big result against Spurs, especially for United as well, in terms of closing them down in the top 4-5 race. Yeah, I think we're probably not going to do a manager a lot in this.
No.
But I think Gary
O'Neill's in the list. Right, we play by our own rules. We said players, but we play by our own rules, mate.
Newcastle, who's their unsung hero? Who's their most underrated?
There isn't anyone underrated there because they bang on about their players.
You've got dicks like Lewis Bolden saying they're all the best players in the world and all that.
It's very difficult to call anyone underrated at that club because, well, basically I follow him on Twitter.
Who is it? Alexander Isak, is he underrated?
No, he's not underrated.
I think he's rated fairly now. I think he goes in and out of form.
Such issues with fitness as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you bring that in, which I do.
Look at Callum Wilson as well.
I think Callum Wilson's overrated sometimes.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's hard with Newcastle. Maybe Livramento.
Did you see how he was injured, Wilson?
Yeah, Livramento's with his
wrestling.
Yeah, with his pectoral muscle.
Yeah. I think it's I don't think
Livramento's a good shout.
Is Livramento underrated though?
Well, they bought him for
people love him, don't they?
I think people love him. Yeah, but I've heard shouts for England and all that. Is Longstaff underrated? Should we talk about Longstaff as a potential England player?
I'm sick of all these random English players.
I'll say one that I think other people overrate a bit, but I think I underrate Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, I think I might underrate Anthony Gordon.
I underrate him a bit because I kind of just have this image of him being sad little geezer at Everton,
mate.
Kind of was running away from his own fans and that. And I kind of still, I have a weird
Claire Bolden
affinity for Everton where I kind of don't mind them.
He looks like Claire Bolden, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks like Claire Bolden. He does. Yeah, I think all of those things combined. That's not why I underrate him.
Off,
but I think he is someone I underrate. Personally, I think he would be my one for them. It's a good.
Let's go with Gordon then. I'll back you on that, mate.
You want to? But I feel like you rate him.
I don't rate him.
Gordon is my example
because you always I remember you going better than Rashford, and I'm not better than Rashford. But I think
actually might be better than Rashford.
Having a better season than Rashford.
He's having a better season.
He's having a better season than Rashford.
He's having a better season.
I mean, that's fine. You can say that he's not a better player though.
I think you've
said that.
If Club X had X amount of money, what would they rather spend money on? They'd rather Club
X.
It's a theoretical
term. Elon's club.
Is that a new place? Yeah.
Let's say Juventus. They'd rather sign Gordon than Rashford.
No, nonsense.
Really?
That's absolutely nonsense.
Anyway, who's Brighton's most underrated player?
I'd say someone like Adam Webster, good centre back. Billy Gilmore's underrated. I think he gets criminally underrated.
They might be a team that have a lot of overrated players because of how good the team has been.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who's overrated or potentially overrated. Have we all gone a bit strong on De Zerbi?
I never did. I was always realistic with him.
I wasn't. I
don't know if he's. Underrated is probably too strong. I like that Buonanotte fella.
Yeah.
Argentinian winger. I think young kid, 19 years old. I think in a few years' time he'll be one of the next.
Is the answer Lewis? Hang on a minute. The answer, almost in the spirit of just getting the job done, in the way that you rightly brought up Dawson. It's Lewis Dunk.
Yeah.
Year in, year out. Heads it out.
I tell you who hasn't been spoken about recently. Remember when Matoma was the boss?
No, he wrote a dissertation
100 million quid.
Dribbling.
You know what's happened? Everyone's read his dissertation.
Yeah, he likes to cut in with you. Yeah,
that was a weird. I know the answer. It's Danny Welbeck.
No,
what a man!
Out of it, man.
We're the best footballer ever produced.
You're a nostalgia.
You definitely can't say that he's underrated to me because I lost £100 bet to Robbie Lyle that he would go to the Qatar World Cup.
Yeah.
So
that's
crazy. You can't say he's underrated.
I love Danny.
You can't say he's underrated to me. I said he should go to the World Cup.
He was like 14th choice in that position.
I remember me and Danny
the
Welbeck.
Bookies were giving him like 1,400 to 1 or something to get on the plane.
I'd back Danny Welbeck.
He hadn't even renewed his passport.
Even when
you
couldn't back him, yeah.
He hadn't renewed his passport, Adam. He didn't even think he was going, and Rory's putting money on him.
Yeah, if anything, Danny Welbeck owes me 100 quid.
About his passport?
Of course, it's not true about his passport.
It might be. How do you know?
Oh, you idiot! Do you know? Move on, Adam. God, do you know what? Obviously, I'm not going to say cut this out, but no, we're not cutting it out. But wow, is that true? How do you know about his passport being out of date?
I thought it was true. His passport. Footballers ain't going to let his passport go.
What about Chelsea?
Is anyone underrated at Chelsea?
I think Gusto. We talked about it on the stream. I think he's underrated, Gusto.
Although I have heard you wouldn't follow the Chelsea account. I've had some mad things about Gusto. We don't need Reece James back. That kind of chat, which is ridiculous.
Can I say one? And I think 6 months ago I wouldn't have never said it. And the price tag's still a problem. But I do think Caicedo has become a little bit underrated because of the price tag. So the minute he makes a little mistake, I kind of see similarities with what happened with Pogba at a time. A minute he makes a little mistake, it's, oh my God, this geezer isn't worth the money. But quietly, he's making a lot of right decisions in the background that are never getting spoken about.
100%.
I thought he was excellent against Manchester City despite getting booked. I like Moyes, but again, £125 million or however much it was, I get it. But I do think he's becoming one of those underrated players.
I think you're right, man. If he stays there for 8 to 9 years and they get it right around him with a world-class manager, if that is Poch or not, he'd be a fantastic signing.
Is there anyone else?
Yeah.
Other than £100 million?
Is the answer to this not Conor Gallagher?
Maybe.
Is Conor Gallagher not Chelsea's most underrated player? The support, particularly online support, hate him. The club are trying to sell him. All the while, he's our best player.
Do you remember that time we did a video and ranked him above Saka?
Yeah.
And I hate when that clip goes viral because you were sat there with 4
But
kids.
At the time,
sat there with 4 kids.
Yeah, it's not our finest hour, is it? How do we do that?
Sometimes people quote me with that. And I want to respond to it, but I don't want to show.
No, you can't give any love of it. I know. You have to just let it. Sometimes someone says something or show you something on Twitter. You just have to let it go into the ether. Man.
I hate the fact that I've even got a United top.
Mate, I don't know what I was saying. Mate, I'm wearing these shorts that wouldn't have fit me when I was 19. I was like, what am I wearing?
My hairy legs out and everything. It's
outrageous. The most ridiculous video ever is me and Adam talking about like young players that are going to do well. But forget it, I'm not talking about it. But basically, we dressed ridiculously, saying ridiculous things.
I knew that was going to happen. I would have asked for a bigger fee.
Mate, if I knew it was going to happen, I'm like, basically, it was a time in our career where I couldn't say no to work. So when they went like, play fancy dress as a footballer, I just went, all right. I'm sitting there in a pair of shorts. Mate,
this is the new Chelsea top. Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah. I'm like, right. They go, right, record. Breathe in.
And then,
this kit.
They don't use a shot from here. They use your full shot.
Full wide.
And like the table's just...
What are you in Astros?
We haven't even got Astros on.
Oh, mate.
We haven't even got football socks on to cover up our legs.
You know, it's the kind of clip. You know, if either of us were to get married now, like... The other one could play it at the wedding. Like, you know, if Adam was getting married this year, I'd get that video and play it at his wedding.
Yeah, look at the state of us. Oh, man.
Anyway, I think the answer is Conor Gallagher. Fulham, I'll tell you who's underrated. Fulham. I'm going to do this one really quickly and I won't accept. Willian, as a footballer, doesn't get anywhere near the love and respect that he deserves.
Because of the way his Arsenal move went.
Yeah. They should love him. Yeah. He could have milked them for every penny they're worth. And he didn't. They should acknowledge his. I'm sure a lot of the fans do, but Willian deserves only love from Arsenal. Okay, the move didn't work out, but he didn't flog him either.
A lot of people would go Paulinho here, but
no, he's not underrated.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of people would go.
No, Willian is the underrated player there. Willian is the player that is just like true. He was actually brilliant at Chelsea. Chelsea fans never really appreciated him.
He was so good.
Do you know when we had Willian and Pedro? We had Willian and Pedro. Chelsea fans, we didn't know how lucky we were. We had Willian and Pedro. And we'd be now.
Around Costa.
Yeah, now we were going. At the time, we were going, God, they were crap.
I was looking at videos of Nani the other day, going, boy, what I'd give for Nani. Right?
Antonio Valencia. Yeah.
Even that, yeah. It's a great show.
I'll watch Anthony.
Yeah.
What about Arsenal?
Underrated at Arsenal.
We all agree on
Willian. No, it's Willian. It has to be.
Yeah.
He's underrated career. He's got an underrated career. He hasn't only got an underrated time at Fulham.
Because he's great for Brazil as well.
He's captain Brazil in the past, you know.
Great.
Yeah.
Who is underrated at Arsenal?
People are coming round to it now, but Gabriel. I always think Ødegaard's underrated as well. Simply because I think more should be made about how good he is.
Can I make a specific... This isn't in the world, but I think specific to the club, I'll tell you who's underrated. Aaron Ramsdale. On the club only, by you two.
Oh, on the club? I thought you meant the club as in Arsenal.
On this show, you two...
We underrate Ramsdale.
You don't give Ramsdale
he's second choice.
I don't think Ramsdale and Reyes...
He's a very good goalie, though.
Why is he second choice?
Okay, maybe because in Arteta's mind, he isn't as good as... in the
last 7 years, he's been relegated from the league twice. He's now second choice.
He knows. You can't bring up relegation, man.
See what I mean?
Why?
This proves
why
how...
Why can you not talk about
relegation? Klopp got mines relegated.
All right, so why do you bring up Man City getting relegated then, when we were rubbish? Because
Pep didn't...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we get relegated. Of course it matters if you play for a club and get relegated.
This is why he's underrated.
Yeah.
The best players play for the best clubs. He got relegated multiple times, and now he's second choice at Arsenal. He will end up at Everton before you know it. It'll be mid-table Premier League. That's his
The current Everton goalie is the best goalie in England.
It was a bad example for Everton. I'm saying whoever's mid-table now.
My first example was a bad example.
You know, he's a mid-table Premier League. Brentford.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think Aaron Ramsdale is a Champions League goalie, and there is
Champions League doesn't start in Champions League, does it?
No, he doesn't at the moment. You're completely right. But this is just me proving that on the club, Aaron Ramsdale is chronically underrated.
Doesn't that mean Arteta's too underrating him?
No, because I think
he thinks David Raya
because Arteta doesn't say all that. Arteta just thinks that David Raya is better than him, and that's fine. You can think that. You can think that while still rating him highly. I think Aaron Ramsdale is better than Raya.
I don't think it's much of a difference.
I think
I lean toward Ramsdale.
It has been in the last 6 weeks. They got an unbelievable defence, and no one's talked about David Raya in the last 6 weeks. If Ramsdale played the last 6 weeks and all the big Premier League games, we'd be talking about it.
But specific to Buvey, no, I don't think he's underrated in the world. I think he'll get a club, and I think he'll play in the Champions League, Aaron Ramsdale, when he leaves Arsenal. But
who? Like, as an example.
Spurs?
I mean, he'd get into the Chelsea team immediately.
But with all due respect, not in the Champions League.
No, but if we were to sign him and he were to become our goalie while he's at Chelsea, we could easily become a Champions League.
Yeah, fine.
I think he's good. There are goalkeepers currently in the last 16 of the Champions League who aren't as good as Aaron Ramsdale, in my opinion. And I know that you probably disagree with that. I don't think that could be the answer just because it's relevant to us. But I just mean on this table, the table on which I sit on a regular basis, Ramsdale is the most underrated.
Whilst I think the answer is Gabriel, could it be Jesus?
Yeah, I should have said that as well.
Because
you two both don't rate him enough.
Yeah.
You two again. It's exactly the same argument about Ramsdale.
No, I like Jesus.
But the reason I don't rate Jesus.
You thought they needed Tony though.
I think Arsenal have grown out of need, out of it. Like, Jesus was the one to get him into the top 4. Now they're in the top 4 and they want to be a team challenging for the title. Jesus becomes a squad player like he was at Chelsea, City.
And I don't see it that way at all. I think Gabriel Jesus, at what he does, that pressing forward, is the best in the league. Yeah. So again, you and I kind of
he can play with a world class forward like Ivan Toney.
I'll go Gabriel here.
I'm going Ramsdale because I'm sat next to Buvey, and you to a degree, but primarily Buvey and Ramsdale thing.
Buvey,
Gabriel for me.
So everyone different.
Also,
no, you two.
Odegaard. Oh,
let's just do Gabriel and let's just do democracy, Adam. We'll do Gabriel.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Come on, let's do it.
I'm never going to argue
Crystal
against
Palace.
democracy.
Oh, that's hard.
Because all their players are rightly rated. A lot of them are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tyreek Mitchell.
Yeah.
Gay. What about
playing
Anderson at the back? He's good, man.
Anderson's
he wins
good.
every header.
No, but I feel like he went
Gay
because of his passing ability. Anderson's passing ability. People weirdly rated him massively highly at one point, and then I used to watch him thinking, "Go on, then, do something." And he'd make a few mistakes, and you think, "Oh,
Schlop."
No. Jordan Ayew still kick? How's
No,
he still playing?
he's
Jordan Ayew.
No.
Jesus.
But the reason I think he's rubbish. I think he's rubbish. But why is he plays every minute of every football
game? They've got no one else
for the last 25 years at Palace. He's been there in the 90s.
I think the answer is one of the centre halves. Like Gahey is good enough to play for a club in the Championship.
There's a world Gahey doesn't go to the Euros.
Yeah, which is underrating him. Agreed.
I go Gahey or Tyreek Mitchell.
Okay. Richards is good as well, but yeah.
Who's underrated at Liverpool, do you think?
Oh.
God, this is tough.
Is it someone like Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones? Are they getting the love?
Could be Curtis Jones, because you know what?
Yeah.
If Jurgen Klopp likes you, then maybe I'm not rating you properly.
No, but you can't. You got to have your
We could
own.
do that. We could do that with a lot of players.
Because otherwise you start going,
but you know what I mean? If Jurgen Klopp's seeing something in it.
I don't see enough from Curtis Jones on the ball controlling midfield. Maybe that's not his game.
How highly do you rate Harvey Elliott?
Yeah, to a decent level. He's still not starting enough games for Liverpool. I don't think he'd be happy with his starting time for Liverpool.
Darwin Núñez, you know.
Konate? People think Konate.
You know what? Because I think Konate has been their best defender this season.
I don't think that's a mad shout.
No,
I think he's been better. But everyone will go, Van Dijk's back.
Yeah.
Maybe he's back in form, but I still think Konate has probably been the best defender.
Endo. Come out of nowhere.
No, but I don't know it now. You're right. If you'd said this 8 weeks ago, you would be right. But now everyone's on that hype train.
McAllister. Great little finish against
Gary.
His Argentine cousin. Alexis has been fantastic.
There was a point as well where kind of I looked at McAllister and went, maybe because he was playing a bit deeper than you expected him to. But you kind of went, is he the one to be doing that there? Now they're in top of the league. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Maybe we have underrated him.
Endo's helped in that regard as well. But,
it could be Curtis Jones.
I'd go Curtis Jones.
Yeah, because nobody talks about Curtis Jones for England. They should. So that proves how underrated he is.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
But is there anyone else? Is Trent underrated?
No. People say he's worth 200 million quid. He's going to go to Real Madrid. Still can't defend a one-on-one.
Robertson?
No, people know.
He's the best left back in the world.
All of the OGs.
Konate, I'm going Konate.
All of the OGs at Liverpool, people know. If you've basically won a European Cup there, everyone knows.
I'm going Konate.
I'll go Konate then. Yeah, I like Konate.
I like Konate as well. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Luton.
The whole lot. The whole squad.
So underrated.
The manager,
I underrated Luton.
Everyone.
That's what I did. I underrated Luton and said they're going to be Derby under Paul Jewell with Robbie Savage. And I should never have,
who's the
I'll
most
stick by
underrated player they've got there? Osho?
Maybe.
Who gets the credit? Ross Barkley gets the credit, so he can't be underrated.
Ross Barkley gets credit. The
There's
manager
players
gets
that don't get the credit.
Adebayo gets the credit.
Doughty at left wing back or left back. His distribution is out of this world, man. He's got one of the best crosses in the league. Honestly, his corners. Doughty.
Yeah.
He's up and down. He's athletic. I'd say Doughty for me, but Adebayo gets in there. He's been scoring recently. Osho, fantastic.
Mate, I don't mind. Doughty or Osho, I reckon.
Yeah.
You got the deciding vote.
I'll go with your shouts.
Yeah, unlucky, mate.
Shouts. He said plural.
No, he said me.
Yeah,
He's talking to me. You're addressing me. Who's underrated at Sheffield United? And I'll tell you who's not. It's not Ben Brereton Diaz.
It is Gustavo Hammer, though.
Is it?
I like Hammer.
Okay, fine.
Whenever
I thought you were going to say Brereton Diaz.
He scored a goal this season.
Can we
as well,
just
that was
skip
out
Sheffield United and say none of them are underrated? They're all rubbish. I want them to get relegated.
Gustavo Hammer stays in the Prem.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Even with they don't.
Hammer. Yeah.
He probably goes to one of the teams that comes up and goes.
I'll tell you, this is a difficult one. Aston Villa. I'll tell you who I think is
I
so
know
good.
who it is.
Like you've got.
I know Adam's good.
I know who it is as well. I'm thinking maybe the same as you. You know.
Who am I going to say?
John McGinn.
Leon Bailey. Who is it?
Ramsey, bro.
Jacob.
Ramsey's so good.
I don't
Man. He had an
know.
injury this season, which I don't
yeah.
think's helped him. But I think Ramsey could play for any of the top
I think
four
John.
or five.
I think that,
I know
that
he
John
is in
McGinn-
one of the top 40.
Mate, I think John McGinn plays for anyone. Like John McGinn
Really?
gets in a Man United midfield immediately.
I think he's right at the top of his ceiling. I think he's really lucky he's playing for a top 4 side at the moment.
No, he's brilliant, mate.
I don't think.
I
think you can both be right because he's saying he's not underrated.
You know, it's like Dan Burn. How's Dan Burn playing against Mbappe at Newcastle?
That's you're right. Dan Burn should have imposter syndrome.
I know. I'm
John
obviously
McGinn.
he's
John
more
McGinn.
talented than Dan Burn, but in terms of he's a top 8 midfielder in the Premier League.
I think
He shouldn't be playing
Dougie Luiz, John McGinn, Ramsey's not a bad shout.
I like Jacob Ramsey. I think Jacob Ramsey is a fantastic.
I'm going John
footballer.
McGinn. You know, I just think he's brilliant.
I
love
think he's
the way
rightly
he plays.
rated though.
Is he rated enough? I think he should be linked with like.
No.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
No.
You know when Liverpool needed, that's the kind of player I think he is. You know when Liverpool had to buy a new midfield,
He does look like a club player.
I think he's that.
Yeah, of course.
I really do. I think he's that
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
and I don't think people see him as that good.
I think Jacob Ramsey.
I don't mind. Konsa, by the way,
That's a great little shout, mate.
left field, mate.
That's
because
fantastic.
you know when Mings was one of the main man there,
Mm.
Konsa was even looked at like not as good as Mings, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like
and now he's
like one of the mainstays there. Done really well.
Is it Konsa? Have we come to the right decision late?
Maybe.
I'm happy with Consa.
I'm happy with
Moreno?
Konsa.
Very, very good. Moreno's fantastic.
Let's go Konsa. Who's underrated at City? I know the answer to this. If you don't mind,
Go on.
I'll put someone on the table.
I know who he's going to say, and I agree.
Bernardo Silva.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he's on. I think it's just if you win a treble, if you underrate him at this point, you're an idiot. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's someone out there,
Can you not be underrated at the like? Could these two sentences be true and live together?
Yeah.
I think he's an elite player and he's underrated. Could somebody believe that he's elite and still underrate him?
Yeah, there definitely is a world where that happens. But I think there are more underrated players at City that only City fans really know about.
Such as whom?
I think Nathan Ake gets he gets completely underwritten in terms of his ability, his speed as a centre back, his versatility as a left back. He's great on the ball, scores big goals. We've seen it this season as well. I think for me, Nathan Ake, but
I'll go with Bernardo Silva.
It's Bernardo.
Because of the level that City are playing at, they're all rated, right? Pep Guardiola gets a lot out of these players as well. And I do think if Bernardo Silva played for most other teams, he'd be their marquee player. Or like, the one.
You know, if Bernardo Silva played for Barcelona, he'd have won a Ballon d'Or banner.
not in this generation, Barcelona.
Mate, we saw
If you
Haaland
put him
do
in
what he did last
2008.
year and not win one.
No, but that's because he was at City as well. That's part of it.
You know, yeah.
I think you need the platform.
Maybe Real Madrid. I see what you mean though, obviously.
Also, I think everybody knows how I feel about Bernardo Silva. I'm probably always going to say it's him, even if I'm wrong. So I'm prepared to defer to Buvey on this one.
Yeah, I'll go Nathan Ake. I have to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burnley. Can we skip past these because they're rubbish?
Brownhill, maybe.
Josh Brownhill, because I think he'll be good in the Championship when they'll be playing next season.
Tottenham. Tottenham. Who's underrated at Tottenham?
Oh.
Mate, the world loves them, don't they? Everyone loves them. Media darling.
Is
anyone underrated there?
Kulusevski is massively underrated. I think
The ginger from Sweden.
I think he's. I think he
incredible.
lives on that 3-month spell he had a couple of years ago. I think he
Under
dines
contract.
on that, man.
You think so?
Dines on it,
I
man.
think he's
Yeah,
a really good player, man.
Is he?
Could you say Richarlison, who's kind of was looked at like a little bit of a
Yeah.
ridiculous figure?
Yeah.
if he
He's trying to
keeps it
fight
up.
himself back.
If he keeps it up.
He has to keep it up.
He has to keep it up.
So who
Because it
else
could
are we
just be
talking about?
the reason why it can't be Richarlison just yet is because the assessment of Richarlison 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, could still be true. He's just having a purple patch.
Yeah, I hear.
So
The other players you could look at, Pedro Porro.
he's a good player. But I think people know it. I think people rate him.
Yeah, he's rated at City
Doggy.
as well.
Everyone
He's
rates him. Everyone's
fantastic.
saying he's the best left back.
Oliver
in the
Have
league.
you got
Skip.
Bentancur?
I think people.
I like Bentancur.
I think people know though.
Injury prone a little bit.
Does Son get the love he deserves?
Yeah.
They miss him massively, don't they? Well, they haven't.
Best finisher in the
Previous
league,
weeks.
arguably.
Yeah, he's
Best
up there.
finisher in the
He's
league.
up there. Ollie Skip.
No, he's crap.
He's always kicking about.
Crap though.
Always
I'm
gets a
going
minute.
Kulusevski.
I think he's related to someone at Spurs. How
He's
does he
going
keep
for
getting minutes?
the ginger from Sweden.
Yeah, but he's obsessed with him. He keeps going on about it.
Why do you love
him.
the ginger of
I
Sweden?
like him. I think he's a really good player.
He loves Swedes and he loves gingers.
I'm going Ollie Skip. I think he's underrated.
Because he's a twin.
Huh?
Because he's your twin.
He just,
What? I'm blonde and a powerful defensive midfielder. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, thanks. Nottingham Forest. Chris Wood. Oh, Jesus.
Not him.
Alanga.
Alanga's been really
He's a
good
good
for
player.
them, you know.
Is he underrated though?
He's great.
I think I'd rate Alanga.
He's rated
perfectly.
rightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
I see
Gibbs White?
Alanga perfect. Gibbs White is wicked, but I think people think he's wicked.
But I don't think people thought he was this good
No, I
in
didn't
terms of leading a Premier League team on his own.
I agree with
kind
that.
of good. You know, when he left
Laughing at
Wolves,
Man United and that. Yeah.
no one went, "Oh, why have Wolves sold him?"
40 million quid as
I
well.
don't think really remember everyone went like that. Why have Wolves sold him?
No, I think that's true as well.
And he's kind of picked the team up on his back. Some big players went there and didn't succeed.
Joe Worrell's still there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He's a good player.
A One-Ye's decent as well.
Awanyi. Maybe because he's not aesthetically pleasing as a striker. He's
No.
he just bumbles about a little bit sometimes.
Mm.
Fantastic finisher. Always a problem.
Yeah. I'd go One-Year.
Scores a lot of goals for them. Scores in big games.
Yeah. You can do that if you want. Alanga maybe, a one you maybe. Chris Wood? No.
Not Chris Wood.
Um,
Not Chris Wood.
No.
Let's go Alanga. What about at Everton? Anyone spring to mind?
Dwight McNeil, maybe.
Do you know
Jack
who's? I'll
Harrison.
tell you who's underrated in the world. Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, Jordan Pickford.
Jordan Pickford is an excellent goalkeeper. Like
Is he world class?
Yes.
But you know what? Look, I think he's rated.
He isn't.
No, I'm on about the player I'm about to say.
Oh.
I think he's rated because I've spoken about him before and plenty of others speak about him. But I also think a lot more would be made of him if Everton were more successful. Bramthwaite.
Yeah, but he's coming. His
I
time
think
will come.
I think he's going to be one of the guys, bro.
Yeah.
Like City, United, just wherever.
He'll be going for 100 million quid.
I think he'll be.
Like,
crazy.
Do you think?
You know, Fofana left Leicester for 80 million
I
quid.
don't think
It's a
saying he's
different time.
worth that though. There's a difference between saying he's worth
English,
100 and he'll go.
the
for
English
100.
tax as well.
Yeah, true.
But I do think he could be like, yeah, he's a serious.
He's
player,
getting a
man.
big boy
He's a
move.
Was
serious
it-
player.
We've seen it all before with centre halves at Everton who come
John
through,
Stones.
and John Stones would be like
Lescott was
the
decent.
successful one.
Lescott
But
was great.
Jagielka,
people were
you love
talking
him?
about
Jagielka.
Godfrey. Jagielka.
Godfrey's more
Godfrey.
considered as a Norwich player, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Is he?
Yeah, he was at Norwich.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
don't know.
like Bramthwaite anyway.
I'll take
Ashley
Bramthwaite.
Young's had an underrated career, considering he's still going at 38.
He should retire, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
He's,
39.
he's impressive to still
Pack
be
his
playing
bag.
Premier League football.
That is
Um,
impressive, yeah.
Dwight McNeil's a good shout. Jack Harrison did all right. He's got a fantastic goal he did as well. Inside of his foot, just bent it on.
Is it that
think he's underrated.
Mikolenko? How good's he?
He's a good left back. Yeah, solid, powerful, up
I'm
and down.
going him.
That's good. Change of tone in your voice there. I think I like Mikolenko, yeah.
Are you going at Brentford? Oh, who cares?
God.
Who cares?
No, my Everton one's Jimmy Garner.
You're
James
so,
Garner.
yeah,
Obsessed
this
with
is
Jimmy Garner.
Adam McKola bingo. Kulusevski, Jimmy Garner.
On to Brentford. Do you know who I think it has to be for Brentford? I don't think there's too much conversation to be had here. It's Norgard, isn't it?
Norgard or
Norgard's fantastic.
Ben Mee, someone like that.
Yeah,
Because
Nor-
Tony's rightly rated.
A lot of them are underrated at Brentford.
You know who I
Fantastic
think
club.
useless. I know how he keeps getting more pay, man.
Yeah, useless.
I don't like it. I
No,
rate him sometimes. 'cause
No.
he gives a bit.
But he's nowhere
Yeah.
near good enough to beat him out. Also, if you're going to take it outside, you have to have a fight. You can't
Yeah,
take it to Twitter, you clowns.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, nicking James Madison's rather poxy celebration.
I don't mind that.
But it was poxy.
And then
That was
he
a bit
tweeted
weird.
about it. He
Yeah,
said zero relegation.
Yeah, I live rent free. I live rent free. You don't score enough goals to have your own celebration. It's just like you lot, man. This is like, can you have a fight in the tunnel, please?
Pathetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you
Pathetic.
just have a fight in the
Yeah,
tunnel?
James Maddison and Morpie fighting
Yeah.
over who's been relegated the
Yeah.
most.
I agree. I think Norgard is underrated for Brentford. What about Man United, Adam?
McTominay.
Oh no!
It has to be McTominay. Mate, without him, you'd be bottom half.
You'd be bottom half. You'd be scrapping
At
with
some
Luton
point,
Town.
you know when he keeps
Look,
winning the games for you? At
as a
some
mid-
point, you have to.
What was the game
Look-
last? What's the last game?
Villa.
Aston Villa.
Villa. But he was amazing.
Look, mate,
he came on and changed the game.
As someone to come
Won the
on
game.
for the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, put him in the box, score a goal. All right, cool. Secret second striker, whatever you want to call him. But what happened against Brentford that time? He scored 2 goals, yeah, because he came on in the box. Then we started him in midfield. We bring him on for Casemiro and stuff. He's not that guy. If you're going to put him in the final third, cool.
but you
He's
talk
not
about-
underrated.
Is he
though.
underrated?
He's not
Goals are,
underrated.
goals are gold dust in football. He's scoring
It's
huge
currency,
goals. He's like one of your
Bro,
highest
this
scorers.
sounds mental, yeah. Bruno Fernandes, man.
He's not underrated.
People don't rate him
I think
as
he's
much
so
as they
overrated.
should.
No, mate.
He's so
Bruno
overrated.
Fernandes.
He's not overrated. I think people are aware of how good he is.
No, but they're not though. The amount of times I hear people ridicule Bruno Fernandes, and
You're going to hate it.
trash,
The answer's McTominay.
It is McTominay.
When you hate the player who is worth,
It could be Lisandro Martinez after what you said about him the other week.
He's got knees made of Weetabix.
Mate, McTominay's got to be worth 10 points on his own for Manchester United.
But also, people don't. I hate when people do that because
But you were doing that for Cristiano Ronaldo when he was worth 13 points in the Championship.
They don't take into account the points we lose because he don't track his man or he don't put a tackle in.
I can't think of any points that he really has cost you this season, but I can think of at least
because they're
10.
not embedded in your brain when you see him trying to go for a tackle.
But surely this demonstrates how
midfielders.
just the fact, even if you take everything away, just the fact that he is worthy of a lot of points, even if he is conceding, even if everything you're saying is true, he is still worth 10 points, which means he must be a bit underrated because you don't even want him in the team.
I don't want him to start.
You wanted him sold.
Yeah, I still do.
So he is underrated.
He's not.
He's coming on for one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's coming
Manchester
on changing your fortune.
I don't know. I mean, it's a democracy here, but for me,
we should just let's go McTominay and Maguire.
I'd go Bruno Fernandes.
Adam, McTominay and Maguire. And Bruno Fernandes is most overrated.
I'd go Bruno Fernandes. You could even possibly go Garnacho.
Okay, so the most overrated is Garnacho, Bruno Fernandes. The most underrated is Maguire, McTominay. You did like that, yeah, democracy.
McTominay is being a hero for you. I can't believe you're slagging him off. And he's doing a Solskjaer role, by the way.
Oh,
you give Solskjaer this big love-in, year in, year out, okay? He's doing what Solskjaer did, professional substitute.
You know, I really thought on the weekend we had a great time. We've done this podcast for Monday. You've absolutely brought it down on everything about this.
I'm sorry, mate.
You've ruined a good weekend.
But McTominay scored a winner for you.
Yeah. Democracy.
So underrated, McTominay.
Yeah, agreed.
I think he's the most underrated on the whole clip, by the way, of all the clubs.
The most underrated footballer in the Premier League, the most underrated world footballer, Scott McTominay.
See, this is what happens. It becomes overrated now.
Do you know what? It is.